Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Horse Center. I'm HRT Rich with the superstar co-host of all co-hosts, Swiss Army Sean. And tonight we're joined by a gentleman who comes from a family. There are some names that are synonymous with sports. You think of NASCAR, names like the Bushes, the Pettys, names like the Earnhardts. You think of hockey, the Suitors, the Lemieux. Now in horse racing, you think of horse racing, you got to think of the Davises. Dylan Davis, how are you today? Whoops. I pressed the wrong button and deleted you for a second. So let's rewind back to that. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate that. What's it like to come from a family? I can, first question, the first thing I could think of, your sister's in horse racing. Your brother is a trainer. Your dad was a jockey. Your brother-in-law is a jockey, trainer. What's Thanksgiving dinner like?
We're a competitive family. So, we kind of leave it on the track. So we kind of have a quick comments, but we try to keep it separated for sure.
I can imagine that. How do you guys have like a turkey eating contest? So you don't talk about horse racing. How does that work? Well, you guys can't do that because of your business, but nonetheless, there's got to be some type of thing. You have like a really competitive football game on Thanksgiving. What goes on?
Well, the kids keep us together, and we're a big family. So I'm a family of 6 kids, 6 siblings, and then also Trevor. We have additional sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws. So we're a very big family. So there's never a dull moment at Thanksgiving for sure.
Speaking of a big family, Sean and I happened to be at Saratoga on the day your sister won her first race there.
Oh, yeah.
I think riding for your father. I don't know about you, Sean, but we were pretty far away from the winner's circle, and we could hear like all of the yelling and the happiness, and it kind of was infectious through the crowd. So
yeah,
tell us a little bit about that experience for your family. How like when somebody in your family does well, is there like a group chat, or how do you guys kind of high five each other?
Yeah, so we do have a family group chat, and it's actually easy because at least there's 1 or 2 of us that are keeping track of each other, and they're throwing in the updates and everything. But that particular day they said Saratoga, NYRA said that was one of the special moments of Saratoga's 2022 year. My favorite moment from that was I was actually sitting on the bench that day, that race. And when they interviewed my father right after Jackie won, he had to say that I told her not to go up the rail. The rail is no good. And I almost fell off the bench. I was laughing so hard because that's my sister. She just does her own thing, and she just riding the flow of the race. And that's just what it is.
So you did your own thing and you did your own thing pretty well in 2022 because you were the leading jockey on probably the most challenging circuit of all, the NYRA circuit. Was 186 wins, number 1. So how does that feel besides the big paychecks along the way?
Well, yeah, that's definitely nice, but it feels great because of all the hard work I've been putting into this circuit. Particularly, I've been mainstay in New York year round, and to be successful and to win that many races for leading rider, it feels great. It's a great accomplishment for me, and always motivated to go again for the next year. But I'm just happy that my hard work and dedication to the sport is being rewarded.
Now, you didn't start off with the hard work and dedication to the sport. You started off a little bit crazier stuff. I think maybe riding the motorcycles as 9-year-old, and kind of advanced up. And then your dad wouldn't give you a faster one because they went too quickly. Some of the, I want to say bad habits, but some of the habits that you had with motocross when you first got into horse racing kind of worked against you a little bit. Talk about that a touch.
Sure. Yeah. So when my father retired, we moved up to Saratoga, and I kind of lost some hobbies that I used to do down there, and all my friends. So we picked up motocross, and I started doing some motocross racing. So the transition was a little difficult for me. Because you're more of in a stand-up position riding motocross, and all the jumps, everything. And when I was taking turns, when I was practicing turning with the horses, I would actually try to lean on the side of the horse. And that's a no. And Dad was laughing, and I had to kind of adjust. The horse turns for you. You just kind of have to stay centered on his back. That was one of the, it's hard to say, but it was a challenge for me.
But do you confuse the horses? I see some jockeys leaning when they wanted to change leads, and it won't change leads. If you're going like this, do you feel like the horse is like, he's unsure, which one am I supposed to put first?
So yeah, I mean, definitely the lean when you need them to help move that weight around to switch leads. That's pretty easy for me. That wasn't a hard thing for me to learn. But as far as turning, you just let the horse do that. And I have that ride in motocross was giving me a lot of balance, so that I had before when I started getting new to horses and horse riding. So if a horse were to jump around or do anything, I was very quick to stay with them, and I thought it was tough for me to get knocked off.
Someone that's hard to knock off this show is our good friend Swiss Army Sean. How are you?
I'm good. So Dylan, we've talked about your career here a little bit. You've always been a good jockey, and then I want to say around COVID, around 2020, you went from that good jockey to great jockey. What was the switch there?
So when COVID hit, Aqueduct decided to close down for we weren't sure how long. It was 2 weeks at the time, but it was ended up being 2 or 3 months. When they ended up canceling, that morning, my agent called me up, Mike Migliori, and he said, Aqueduct closed. What are you going to do? And I said, well, I got kids and I got a family. I got to keep going. He said, what available tracks are still open and you think are going to go? And he said, Gulfstream. And I write a quick response and said, I'm going right now. So I packed up. It took me an hour to pack up. I packed the dogs and all the kids, everything. And we went down to Gulfstream, rode down there, continued to ride. And after COVID, I think it was 2021, I had a collarbone injury, and that really kind of set me back and into reality and kind of revitalized what I wanted to do with my career. I thought I was doing well, and you kind of get, into a rut, and you're just happy and content with what you're doing. And when that kind of pushed me back, I wanted to do even better. I saw all the horses that I was riding, the other riders were winning. And I told my agent, Mike, that, when I come back, that I want to do even better than I was doing before and show these guys that I'm not scared. That's a big thing, a part of this sport, that you really have to have no fear riding these animals. And luckily I had Richie Migliori, Mike's brother, assisting me along the way and keeping me focused.
How hard was it to get some of those mounts back? Because that's the part that people don't understand, is when you are out hurt, there's no guarantee when you come back.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a big question. So I was already had about 3 years into the NYRA circuit, so I had a couple of guys that were loyal to me. It wasn't horses that I was riding before. Some of them were, but I was very lucky to have some loyal outfits, trainers, and owners that were able to put me back on some of those horses.
Speaking of mounts, this is a peculiar question for you and your family, because your sisters ride, you ride, Trevor rides, so you're all kind of close. What's that like if one of them is taken off the mount and you're putting on the mount? Because we see some of that. Is there like an unwritten rule in the family? Okay, that's cool. Or do you guys try not to do that?
No. So if I can only ride one horse in a race, sometimes my agent would say that the trainer's looking for Katie or Trevor. And so it's nothing that I would say that I'm against. I'm really happy that they're able to pick up some of my other horses that I'm riding. Mm-hmm. And even if they beat me or they win or whichever, I'm still happy that they're able to do it, because it's kind of a family thing. But I'm always trying to beat them anyways.
So no matter what horse they put you on. I just kind of, because you see,
it's competitive all the time. Yeah.
You see people coming on and off horses, and if it's like you're taking an IRAD horse, you probably don't feel any. You're probably I got.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely great because he's riding the best stock that's the offer.
Yeah, so I figured, you're in a unique situation in that you have family all around you, and if you're taking amounts, I wonder how that worked out. Sorry to interrupt you, Sean.
No, it's okay. So when do you take that next step and try to ride both horses in a race?
I said that, but no, you can't do it.
So speaking of your sisters and stuff, we've had them on and talked about some of your in-race talking back and forth. So what's your best story with your two sisters and Trevor coming down the lane or something like that with trash talking?
Oh, well, just recently. So Trevor was on the lead or something like that. It's just like a generic, but I'm going to do the best I can do it. So anyways, I'm laying second off of Trevor, and we're right around the quarter pole, and I'm passing Trevor to get to the lead, and here comes Katie looping me on the outside, and Trevor goes, "Come on, Katie, you can do it. Come on, Katie." And I'm like, "This mother," I said, "You gotta be kidding me." He's like, "Well, who am I supposed to root for?" That's what he told me back in the room. I said, I'm gonna get him back. That's for sure. He got me a little mad there.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though. I mean, that's in a unique situation that other people can't deal with, right? We're not dealing with. They don't have to deal with. So we got the obligatory Terry Hay. If you've watched the show at all, there's a point in time where Terry's going to chime in and say, "Hey, when are you coming out the Golden Gate?" So I should preempt Terry and ask it before he can put it up there. So you got any plans to go to Golden Gate, Dylan?
No plans right now.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. Robert McKenna chiming in saying, "Saratoga Rex here jumped on JJ early, then Manny, now you double D. Love your low style, by the way. Tell your agent to put you on horses that can get out of the gate. Good luck in good racing." And then John De Silva says it's a family thing with jocks and agents. Dylan's agent is uncle to Trevor, and Katie's agent and Richard's son. All right, so
there's kind of a family thing going on there where, so Richard's son is Trevor and Katie's agent, and Richie's brother, my agent. Kind of, I don't know how that fell into it, but it's almost like family agents and family jockeys.
So Richard is a Hall of Fame jockey. What sort of input does he give to you, or your family in general?
So Richard, he helped me tremendously. So that was right around the time where I broke my collarbone and was coming back. He was a big part of that push, and he's always said to me that you have to ride aggressive with no fear and show these guys you can come back and ride like you were just riding before, and one of the biggest keys that he gave me was getting position out of the gate and allowing your horse to get into stride and let the riders work around you. You don't work around what the riders want, what position they want. You let them work around what position you want.
So being aggressive and taking your spot on the track, and I get it.
Yeah.
Right, running your game, so to speak, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Fighting your fight. So aside from winning the NYRA title, you have another kind of notch on your heavyweight belt. There is that you've won 6 races in a single day, and that has put you in some really exclusive company. So on a day like that, what kind of goes through your mind? You're like, man, I better hang it up because it ain't going to get any better than this. Or like, when do you know, holy hell, I'm having an incredible day and I can't lose?
So that was the 5th. I think it was the 5th race that day. I'm not sure the exact date. It was February 18th. It was right around mid-February, and it was the 5th race. I won the first 4. And after the 3rd race, I was like, wow, I'm having a great day so far. And let's just keep it up and see what I can do. I never thought about 5 or 6 winner day. And I won the 4th, and now going into the 5th race, me and Manny Franco were head and head. I'm on the inside, he's on the outside. And he ended up beating me in nose, but he ended up exchanging some bumps to me. And I claimed foul. And I said, well, I'm going to see what happens. And they put me up. And then after that, I said, wow, this is an incredible day. I said, let's see what else we can do. That's when I almost flipped the switch and said I wanted to make a record day.
Sean, what do you do for a record day?
Yeah, not that. So I was going to say about it, because a lot of times when jockeys get in those zones, it's not even like it's the same trainer in the same barn. And I know most jockeys and most bettors, jockeys especially, will say it's 95% of the horse. But on days like that, it's got to be more some that you're – obviously you need the horse, but it's got to be something that you're in the zone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you have to be mentally ready. Yeah, you have to prep your races. I like to prep and visualize a race, so I have a lot of confidence on where I'm at on the track and know when I need to move in certain spots. But you have to have that, and that gives me the confidence, and that translates to the horse. When you get on the horse can feel. We don't have a language with the horse, so we have to they have to feel by how we're sitting on them or how tense we are, what we're doing with the animal, so they can feel that energy, and you have to transfer it over to them. And it's just, once you get in that zone, it's like you feel like that no one can beat you.
So that was actually a question I saw on social media, and I said, well, do you ever watch your shows? Because jockeys talk about it all the time. They wanted to know what jockeys look at in past performances and how far in advance do you look before a race?
All right, so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty basic. The first thing I look at is the pace of the race. I want to see how fast we're looking, how fast the race could be. You're looking at distances and turf and dirt, but that's the first thing is how fast I think the race is going to be. I'm handicapping the jocks, the trainers, what the trainers will give the jocks instructions. I know all the trainers, even owners in certain types of races, how many horses they have in the race. That's the first thing. Second thing is has the livestock that I think. So I'm doing my own personal handicapping. So I'm picking like 3 horses, like 1, 6, and 8. And I'm like, okay, so if I am needing to close and there's another closer that I have to beat and he's the 8 horse, I'm watching when he's making his move so I don't let him get out of sight. There's like many, many things. How's the track playing? But foremost is the pace of the race and where I need to be in that certain kind of pace.
And how many times do you think in your mind one thing and then the owners, your trainers tell you something different and you kind of got to throw that out?
So yeah, no, that happens plenty of times, and I'm not afraid to throw out my opinion. That's why I look at the race and they want to hear it from me, and they'll say something and I might not agree with it, and I'll definitely speak my mind and tell them, hey, I see it a different way, and then I like to agree on the same note before we get going again.
Yes, kind of like a couple that don't go to bed angry with each other. Quick question.
Definitely.
I got a quick question for you in regards to us on the outside. When you claim a foul against another jockey, is that just part of the business, or do you sometimes kind of take that stuff personally? And what does that carry on in the locker room, or is it just a standard part of the business? It goes through it. There's a process. You guys go back in the locker room, and it's no big deal. Yeah.
So it's pretty much routine, I guess. So like most of the guys here are if it's a good enough foul, then it's okay. But if it's almost frivolous or multiple times, then there'll be some words exchanged for sure. But if it had some kind of, I don't know how you'd say it, like some recognition, credentials for the claim of foul, then there would be no words in the jocks room.
So basically when you committed a foul and when you haven't, right? So
I'm really realistic about if I have to claim foul or not, but sometimes you try to take a chance and maybe you get lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure the owners appreciate when you get lucky on that too, and the trainers too.
Yeah. And I don't want to put you on the spot, and you can answer this however you want, but there's been a lot of controversy with that, with the NYRA stewards and certain people getting away with things, and then certain people like you getting taken down every time something happens. How do you mentally handle that, and why do you think that is?
I'm going through it right now, but I don't want to say too much. But
exactly.
I just want to be treated fairly in the sport. I know it when I've committed some fouls, and I've had a bunch of suspensions already this year so far, and it's I just trying to ride a better race and clean and try to not foul. I just want to see it done with the other riders. I just don't feel like I want to be the singled out, but I just want to see for future that if someone has done something that I've done earlier in the year, I just want to be treated fairly. That's pretty much
That
it.
they get the same punishment. That's not asking too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, exactly.
So John De Silva says, what was it like Friday in the 2-mile stakes race with Dylan, Katie, and Trevor all lined up next to each other in the gate?
Yeah, so Katie had speed. She went to the lead, and I was in a great spot sitting right behind her. And then we're going into the second turn. Trevor's horse was not, I thought he was making a move on his own, but he actually, his horse was hard handled in the back of the pack, made a way early move to the backside. And I mean, it's riding with my brother-in-law or my sister. It's always great. We're always competitive and always trying to beat each other. So, but after that race, my legs were killing me because I don't usually ride 2-mile races.
Hey, have you guys ever thought about maybe, your dad, your Richard Migliore, yourself, your sisters, Trevor, having like a race for charity or something like that? You're all up at Saratoga, probably in the summertime because you grew up there, you graduated from that high school. I mean, you could probably have a race like that where the people can bet on it, and all of the proceeds, instead of being a winner, you get some sort of certificate if you pick the right horse or something, but all of the money going to a jockey fund or something like that.
No, I think that's a great idea. I never even thought of it. You could also throw in like Irad and Jose, the brothers. You can put like team points and stuff, like a family thing, but I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean,
What about?
Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
I've thrown this out. I think one of your sisters too. There has to be, and Horse Racing Today wants to be a part of this. A reality series too, at some point where you guys are wearing mics and everything else while you guys are in the gate, because the conversations that you guys are having, I think, would be intriguing
all
for
the time.
all to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be.
Yeah,
fun
I don't know if you want to hear all of it though.
That's all right. We can have the R-rated channel as well.
Yeah.
So the consultant, to what he consults, I am not sure, but he wants to know if you have a surface preference.
I like the turf. For some reason, it's way more comfortable. The horses handle it well. They get over it easy, and I like the challenge of it because it's more thought than the dirt race, because you could save ground. You could wait till the 8th pole. You could split some horses. It's a lot harder to do on a dirt race.
So your question for you here, and the answer has to be only one answer. I can answer this for you. Do you ever think you'll win the Belmont Stakes? Yes. Move on, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna win them all.
I wrote it for the first time last year for Mark Cassie. I can say I've never been happier to finish last in that race and experience what I felt with that crowd. You'll never see me smiling any other time.
So here we go. John De Silva again keeps saying the family feud race, Robbie out of the retirement and challenge another family. I think that would probably be popular.
I like that. I like it. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. Some like PDGF or whatever, Jockeys Guild, anything, even the track themselves, they could set it up. It'd be a nice idea.
I think it would be a good idea. So if somebody's from Saratoga's watching, when you go, we get to come, and Sean gets to call the race, and I get to handicap it.
Yeah, well, not about calling the race.
It could be like a family day or something. Yeah.
But, they would even be good just on Family Feud, the show itself. Give horse racing some exposure. There you go.
We would be fighting for spots. There's not enough spots for all of us.
Yeah, and the family feud. They could do that too, right? Coverage of the Davis Bowling Night would make for a great show. So you guys all bowl?
Yeah, we like to bowl. Yeah, we have a good time. Yeah, me, my brother Eddie, and Dad were very good bowlers. We shoot like in the high hundreds for sure.
I once saw a person bowl 301.
Oh. Yeah, what a...
No, you can't. Yeah, because you can't lose if you bowl 300,
you can't,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
What are you gonna do?
What's your most favorite jockey room to be in?
Ooh. Well, I haven't been traveling too much. I had a lot of fun over in Kentucky when I had the bug. These guys were a lot of jokesters and pranksters over there.
Yeah, and I know we have to tie up pretty quickly because there's a young man on the loose over there. But we'll talk a little bit about the young man right here, Sean Nolan. And I saw this on Twitter. I got to say, your son has a better swing than I do, which is not saying too much. I got to be honest, but he's on his way. And so Sean Nolan says here that your son's going to be the 2036. It's going to take him that long to be the U.S. Open champion. Mm-hmm. Definitely giving Eddie strokes now. Is this true?
But I mean, I he's just playing incredible. I get him golf lessons. He loves to play. I got him in golf camps. I got him going in Saratoga. McGregor's got a golf camp there. But he was 1 year old one day, and we were in the house on an off day, and I'm watching him, and I'm showing him. I'm going through the TV channels, and I'm showing him sports. I'm just trying to figure out what he likes instead of like the little kids shows. And, I'm going through baseball and a guy hits the ball. I'm like, yeah, clapping and showing them. And basketball, it's good to make the basket. The ball goes in the hoop, all these things. And then I got to golf, and the guy, one of the players got one of the balls in the hole, and I was clapping and I went to the next, changed the channel, and I went to whatever tennis, and he started crying. And I said, wait a second. So I went back to the golf channel, and he was smiling and smiling. So I got him a plastic golf club set. Dad got him like an indoor putting set. This was like winter time, and he's never dropped the club since. He's just playing and playing.
So he's into it. Well, he looked at you, said, my dad's a jockey, looked at basketball, said there's no chance. Switched the channel. Right? For sure. So let's see. Laura Feldman coming in. Do you have your own horses you ride during your time off?
No, but my father has a couple horses at his farm, but I usually don't really sit on those horses. I ride enough horses during when I'm working.
Yeah, I can imagine. People at McDonald's probably never eat at McDonald's. I can't blame them for that. We all probably should never eat at McDonald's, but they'll never advertise with us now. I killed any chance of that sponsorship. So we're talking about golf. You say you're a big golf fan. You like golf. So the U.S. Open is starting tomorrow. Yeah. Who's the winner? Who are we betting on?
Oh, well, I was watching Full Swing on Netflix, and I think Scotty Scheffler is a great guy, great family guy. And I think he's just really tough to beat. I think he's second in the rankings, but I think Scheffler is going to be very tough.
I did read, though, he's changing his putter for this tournament. Yeah. So I don't know that when you change equipment, like when I watch football at the beginning of the year, you got a guy who over the summertime decided in the offseason goes from eating meat to being a vegan and loses all that weight. If you do fantasy football and you read that your guy that you want to draft changed his diet, became a vegan in the offseason, pass. They always have a horrible year. Always.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So when I see they're going to change their putter, it makes me a little bit nervous in that respect.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest club to change in the bag.
Probably. You play golf?
Yeah. I play. I attempt. I just got to play because I don't want my son beating me.
It ain't going to take long for that.
Not just yet. Yeah.
I hate to admit this, but I'm 57. My son is 23. We've been playing golf the whole way through, right? He took a little bit of break to play soccer. And so we went to go play golf. He's got me the last two times, the first two times, but he's young, he's flexible. The ball's going 300 yards and I'm struggling to get it to 250 now. So yeah, it's one thing. All right. Anyway, enough of sons beating us. I don't want that to happen to you anytime soon. How do you feel about the Jamaican fans at the NYRA circuit?
Well, it depends if you're right, Aqueduct or Belmont.
Well, let's talk about both. At Aqueduct.
Aqueduct, they're a lot tougher. That's a tough crowd. You don't win on a favorite, you're going to hear it. You're definitely going to hear it.
Yeah, we've heard.
And then Belmont, it's a lot better. They're a lot kinder at Belmont, but I don't know what they're doing in comparison. But they're a tougher crowd at Aqueduct.
Well, that's another question. I saw Katie's post, and for political reasons, we won't go with what the post said and what your reaction was and stuff like that. But what is the strangest thing you've heard from fans?
I don't even know, man. You hear a bunch of stuff. The guys are telling you go back to where you came from, or go to, they'll name a lower level track, go back there, or you don't deserve to ride. There's millions of things. I mean, I could say even more, but not on the channel.
I mean, if someone says something that cracks you up, do you at least turn around and give them credit? Man, that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah. No, I'll give them a smirk. I usually try to stay focused, but most of the bettors, they know how I react, and if they get a smirk out of me or nods or something or turn around, then it's a lot.
So Saratoga, you guys walk through all the fans and stuff like that, where they have that little picnicky area there. It seems to be kind of fan friendly. What's that experience like? Because riding, you grew up, you went to Saratoga, you graduated from Saratoga High School right there, as you mentioned, riding motorcycles. So what's that experience like for you? Because it's different for you because that's home. It's not like this special place in horse racing, but yet it is a special place in horse racing. So what's that like for you?
I love it because the fans, they can get very close to you and they get almost personable. They can take photos, autographs. I've had kids want to take helmets off me, my crops, my saddle. They wanted to strip me sometimes, but I mean, it's great. I love it. I could see, the families and going involved and if I'm able to win a race for them and make them some money, that's even better. Then they had a great experience. But I love walking through the crowd and enjoying all of that.
Yeah, it seems like we had fun when we were there. Sean, that's it for me. I know Dylan's got to run. You got any final questions before we run?
Well, I guess we'll end with, we know the 5-year-old's into golf. Is he into horse racing, and do you see a future in horse racing for him?
Yeah, he says he wants to be a jockey as well. He does. He's been sitting on the ponies since he was about, I don't know, 6 months old. But he always goes to the track. I can't really take him as much because I'm working, but he also I'm lucky that Daddy's training horses and he can go to the barn and have some fun with him over there.
I lied. I said I didn't have anything else to say. I do that sometimes. Now your daughters have taken a different track, right? They're the ones that like the motorcycles?
My daughter?
I read that your daughter wanted to ride the motorcycles. Is that wrong?
I mean, when we're riding dirt bikes, we got the helmets on. She is not afraid of anything. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I went almost full speed on one of my race bikes, and she was smiling the whole time. I mean, I wouldn't do it again, but Michael, when I get him on my bike, he's scared. He doesn't want to go fast at all on those dirt bikes.
All right. Well, we let you go now because we held you a little bit too long, I'm sure. We apologize for that.
That's
we do
all right.
appreciate
That's all right.
your time wholeheartedly. And we look forward to seeing you in the winner's circle and seeing you back on the show when you do win the Belmont and other big stakes races as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys. All right.
As always, a lot of fun, right, Sean? A new guest, and I got back in skill here. You are the fathead tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't you this time.
Yes, I know. I had messed that up the last couple of times. I was out of practice. What can I say, Sean?
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody new on, and Dylan was great. We've heard some of the stories from his sister, brother-in-law. Finally was able to get Dylan on himself as well. Great.
Yeah, we have the whole family on now, right?
Well, we're still missing. I know his brother was a trainer. I think he took a little bit of a break, and we haven't had their dad on yet.
We got to get the dad. We might as well get the agent and the Michael and Richard Miglio on there as well, right?
Yeah.
Because what the heck? It's a family thing. Let's go ahead and get that family thing together. Who do we have tomorrow night, Sean?
So another jockey and another first-timer, William Anton Georgi III. Usually rides. There will be no invite to Golden Gate tomorrow because he rides at Golden Gate. So this will be right up Terry's alley here. Terry will probably still invite him to Golden Gate somehow. yeah. Terry his question will be more like, do you plan on staying at Golden Gate? Yeah. Right? Or do you want to go to the NYRA? or buy real estate there when they turn the track into condos? That's probably going to be Terry's question tomorrow for sure. I will be back at probably around 1 o'clock. I forget exactly what time Horseshoe Indianapolis gets going tomorrow with the Big Boopa, otherwise known as Charles. On Thursday, we'll do Belmont. See if maybe we got a couple Dylan Davis winners at Belmont on Thursday. Friday, I'm not sure what Tom and I are going to do. I do know that next week, I believe, is the Royal Ascot. So Tom and I will be getting up early in the morning, taking out the sand from the eye to talk about some UK racing, some of the biggest races over there. And my strategy will be just to take Wesley Ward in all of the sprints, Sean. Yeah, there you go. Right. He started off with a bang with that, but then he's kind of backed off a little bit. So, but yeah, it's still a good bet. So Hannah did win on that big favorite earlier today. And then Tyler, Connor, and Aaron McClellan shipped into Parks and won too. So some notes from earlier. Yes, no, some people who are big supporters of the show, they did have a good day today, right? That was I wanted to bring that up, and congratulations to Hannah. Congratulations to Tyler, Connor, and Aaron. It was nice to see them all come home winners today, because when you come on the show, you have some good luck. So I know that Dylan will have some good luck. So if you're thinking about coming on and you're unsure, know this: you'll get some more winners checks if indeed you do come on. Another way that you can make sure that you can come on and not miss anything that we do here, whether it's horse racing, picks, or talking to the people into sports, Sean, is to do what? Like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Horse Race, the number 2 day. I'll also say you said about 10,000 with YouTube, and I know we got a while to go, but just hit subscribe. I will say 10,000 on Facebook is right there. We're like 600 some followers away from 10,000. So if you haven't followed us on Facebook, please do that. And definitely subscribe while you're here, because
get us to the 10K mark across the board. And like 1 out of 10 people who watch hit the subscribe button. Be a part of the 10%. Be a part of the doers, not the slackers, right? Don't be a slacker. I want to say thank you to Laura Feldman for giving us some love on Facebook. We appreciate that. Trey Lohner, Beverly Taylor, otherwise known as Honey Bunny, Philip Perkins, and Zoila Maria Benitez for the thumbs up on Facebook. Unfortunately, we can't shout out people on YouTube because they don't let us know who gave us the thumbs up. We just see the number. They help us with the algorithms. The more thumbs up we get, the more times you return to our show, the higher up we go in the rankings. The more people find us, the more likely we are to get to 10,000 subscribers. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I will say that too. Like my question with the how do jockeys read the form? There's so many times on the internet I see these questions on what do jockeys think, or they get answered right here. Mm-hmm. Not saying this is the only show, but people do want to know this stuff. So
I think it's the only regular one though that is every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right?
Well, yeah, I think so. But I'm like, some of these answers that you want to know, you can find out. Plus, we have the chat where you can actually ask them yourself if we're not asking the question that you want to know. So
indeed, and the comments are helpful with the algorithms too. The more comments there are per minute, it helps you with the Google algorithms. These are all the silly things that you have to keep in mind to appease a computer program so that you get a high ranking. All right, Sean, well, that takes us wire to wire for this terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow again at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. We'll have another Horse Center show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, hit the subscribe button and the bell so when we go live for picks or personalities, you are notified. But no matter what you're doing for the rest of this evening, you guys think you'll do another show, mental health show? That's really Sean's thing. Are you guys doing
that? We keep trying, but schedules keep getting messed up. I go on vacation in a little bit, so we will get back to that. It's just schedule's got to flow for that. Our schedule's got to flow, and then we got to get guests that the schedules flow too. So it's a little bit of a work in progress.
Right, because Jamie was out, and then Julie is out, then you're out, and all the double duty. So I think I'm going to be back in 2 weeks with Julie in the host role. So, or I don't know, will I be the host or the co-host? I'm not sure where I'm going to be at that time.
I don't know.
Will I be Batman or will I be Robin?
I think you were Robin the last time and the only time with Julie. So
yeah, I think I will.
You'll be playing me. Look at that. You move up.
Yes, I move up. I'll become the superstar co-host, according to Jamie. All right. So no matter what you're doing for the rest of the night, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. We hope you certainly have God's grace and God's favor, and that no matter what you do for the rest of this terrific Terry Tuesday, it ends up in the
winner circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks again for joining us.